What up, Entourage? Guess who's back? The rapper's in the house. Yes, he is. Hope everybody is having a lovely evening. Here to bring you guys another video. We've been talking a lot about what? Running backs, because that's my favorite position. It's the most important position. But let's talk a little receivers now. You know, receivers are not really that important, to be honest, but there's still some nice receivers that you can pick up that could be difference makers for your team, because you need some of that upside. You know what I'm saying? Receivers, I don't like them as much as running backs because they're more predicated on game flow. But these guys, they're kind of special, especially where they're going. Well, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the bell for notifications. This stuff is important. This is where I really break it down. So yeah, and all social media at fantasyfootballrapper, except for Twitter at IamFFRapper. They, you know, fantasy football rapper is just too long. Well, guys, let's get into it. The most underrated receivers for 2020 right now. All right. Coming in at number one, and again, it's no particular order. It's just kind of like how the ADP has them, but some leagues could be a little different, so don't shoot me. So the number one receiver that I feel is underrated is DJ Chark. Anybody that knows me, DJ Chark is kind of like the receiver version of Nick Chubb. I feel like I kind of discovered him. I told you guys after week one, I was like, I watched him play. This guy was special. There's really nothing he can't do. From a physical standpoint, he's special. He's 6'4". He runs like a 4.34, something like that. And he's got long arms. He's great at separating. He can take any play to the house because of his speed, because of his length. And he was a wide receiver one until he got injured. After he got injured, wasn't the same guy. I think they rushed him back. So that's why right now he's going as a wide receiver 3. That doesn't make sense, especially when the Jaguars are going to be horrible. So yeah, that might be bad for Leonard Fournette, but not for DJ Chark. They're going to be playing come from behind. And who did the Jaguars get as their offensive coordinator? Jay Gruden. Jay Gruden loves to feed his number one receivers. Ask AJ Green. DJ Chark is like a AJ Green clone, except he's faster. I think he has more upside. So DJ Chark being drafted in the 5th round, I have no problem taking him as my number one receiver. As long as you got another kind of similar receiver, like if your top 2 receivers are like DJ Chark and Calvin Ridley, or AJ Brown and Terry McLaurin. Oh, I slipped. My second most underrated receiver I'm going to talk about today is Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin, very, very similar situation to DJ Chark. He's playing under a coach that loves to feature the number one receiver. He fed DJ Moore. I'm talking about Scott Turner last year in Carolina. He fed DJ Moore. They were bad defensively. They were playing come from behind, and that was with Kyle Allen as their quarterback. So Dwayne Haskins, not the best. Well, coincidentally, the Redskins also have Kyle Allen now this year. But anyway, Dwayne Haskins, not the best, but he's been really, really trying hard this offseason to improve, and he's still better than Kyle Allen. Let's face it, him and Terry McLaurin, former teammates. Kelvin Harmon is out for the year. Not that that really made a difference, but they are lacking for weapons. So give me the guy that's going to get the volume. Give me the guy, talk about speed. He's another guy, 4.35. And as a rookie, with shaky quarterback play, he was still almost a wide receiver 2. He was right there at the top of being a wide receiver 3. So that's pretty impressive. His stats were 58 receptions, but 919 yards. So imagine that. I'll guarantee you he's going to get over 1,000 yards. I guarantee you he's going to get over 59 receptions. And he had 7 touchdowns. He's an end zone threat. He's a big play threat. They're going to feature him. They're going to put him in space. And what I love is they move him all around the field. That's what Scott Turner does. He puts his best players in position to make plays. Love, love, love. So, yeah, if there's a situation where you could get both of those, let's say you're one of those guys that's got a back-to-back. You pick either, let's see, if you pick the first round, you get back-to-back 2, 3. Okay, so let's say you're picking at the end of your draft, right? I'm giving you guys game here. So let's say you got the 12th pick or something, right? So then you got a back-to-back in the third, fourth. Then you got a back-to-back. So anyway, my point is, if DJ Chark and Terry McLaurin are your first two receivers, I got no problem with that. I got no problem with that whatsoever. They're being drafted as wide receiver 3s. I think both could be wide receiver 1s, if not top 15, just based on volume and talent. What more can you want? When talent meets opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Perfect storm. You've heard it plenty of times before. All right, my number 3 underrated receiver. Remember, guys, this is no particular order. Tyler Boyd. I don't know. I guess Tyler Boyd's just boring. He's not really fast. He's not really big. He hasn't really blown it out the gates with his numbers. But what he has been is back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. I don't want to hear about the A.J. Green. He gets injured every year. Tyler Boyd is the real number 1 receiver. And he's such a mismatch out of the slot. And he has a rookie quarterback. And A.J. Green's going to demand attention. And Joe Burrow had a great connection with his college slot receiver. Yes, I'm talking about Justin Jefferson. And like the other two receivers, although Washington defense, it could go either way because I like Chase Young. They got some talent. Secondary might be a little shaky. But Cincinnati, there's no doubt about it. Their defense blows. So what does that mean? Playing come from behind. Who's going to be the target hog? Tyler Boyd. And he's just getting so disrespected. 90 receptions, 1,046 yards last year. Could do a little better on the touchdowns. But still, guys, Tyler Boyd in the 6th round is money. And what I love about Tyler Boyd, he's such my favorite type of receiver because his floor is super safe. There'll be very few games where he gets you like under 10 or 15 points. Like for real. So, yeah, man. Tyler Boyd, second. I'm cool with Tyler Boyd being my second receiver. And in fact, you could draft him as your third. Love Tyler Boyd. Another guy. This guy, I mean, I get it, okay? The Dallas Cowboys receiving corps might appear to be a little crowded. But Dallas is also going to be one of those teams that could lead the league in throws, in passing. So, yeah, there's Amari Cooper. Yeah, there's CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb's a rookie. Love his talent. I think this could be one of those teams where they have 3 receivers that are, top 36. So they could have a wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. Like, they're that good, and they're going to throw often. And I don't know if Dallas defense is that good. So between Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore, there's not a more coaching offensive coordinator duo that likes to throw more than those two. So they're going to throw it a ton. And Michael Gallup, let's not forget, guys, 1,100 yards receiving last year, on only 66 receptions. So he's a big play guy, and he missed the game. So really like Michael Gallup, and he's being chosen like in the 7th, 8th round. Such a bargain. This guy's got talent. I think he could end up being the number 1 receiver in Dallas until CeeDee Lamb becomes the number 1 receiver next year or the year after, because that guy's the next D-Hop. So definitely love some Michael Gallup. Have no problem with him being a wide receiver 3. The only thing I don't like about Gallup that I think the other 3 have is they have safer floors. I will say that. Because Terry McLaurin is the only thing in Washington, because DJ Chark's the only thing in Jacksonville, and Tyler Boyd, yeah, they got A.J. Green, but he's the only thing in Cincinnati. You can't rely on Green. He's going to get a lot of targets due to the defense being so bad. Gallup will probably not average more than like 6 targets. So he is going to have to rely on, the big play, but he's also big body, a good red zone threat, but he's going to be less consistent than the other ones. I will say that. But he's also going lower, so got to take the good with the bad. All right, guys. My next underrated receiver, Deontay Johnson. So good this guy is. He had, playing with Mason Rudolph and Duck, this guy had 59 receptions, 680 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Now, again, not gaudy numbers. But again, Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges, give the guy a break. Give him a break. He was somebody that was supposed to, be brought along slowly, but he was thrown into the fire, and he had some big games. He had some big plays. One of the best receivers last year in separation, and guess who's back? Yup, Ben. The Steelers have a history of producing 2 top receivers every year. Going back to the days where you guys weren't even born, when they had Hines Ward and Mike Wallace, or you probably were born by then, but Emmanuel Sanders and AB. I mean, the Steelers, even Martavius Bryant was a thing a year. They're just a factory for receivers, and this guy's got talent. Ben Roethlisberger's last time he was a starter threw 5,000 yards. They led the league in passing. Absolutely love Deontay Johnson in the 8th round. Oh, and by the way, he did all that. Again, the numbers weren't, but let's put things in perspective. But he's playing with a sports hernia, and he's fine. He's over it. He's good to go. Deontay Johnson is the move. And a lot of people ask me, well, if I draft Juju, is it cool if I draft Deontay Johnson? Yes. Because if Juju has an off game, Deontay Johnson can make up for it, vice versa, and there'll be plenty of games where they both go off. So yes, I got no problem with drafting people on the same team. I really don't. On the contrary, I usually don't like drafting a quarterback and receiver on the same team because unless you're Patrick Mahomes or something. But even then, Tyreek Hill could be a little shaky. But it's because if the offense as a whole is having a bad game, then you're kind of out 2 players than 1. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mind drafting a running back and receiver, 2 receivers in special cases. You know what I'm saying? Like last year, you would have been just fine having Mike Evans and Chris Godwin on your team. Am I lying? So, yeah. Same thing with Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. So, it's only certain teams, though. All right, my last guy. My last most underrated receiver. And I left rookies out of this and anybody going whose ADP past the 10th round. Okay? So, the reason is because I consider more those guys sleepers. These are guys that are going between, 5th and the 9th round. And then we'll do a sleeper edition on another video. But my last, definitely not least, love this guy. I feel like I almost discovered him. I didn't discover him like DJ Chark. I discovered. Actually, somebody told me about Darius Slayton way early last year. They said this Giants kid, he was a Giants fan. He's like, their 5th round pick is looking good. I didn't even know about Darius Slayton too much. And I started doing my research, and then I picked him in my dynasty super late. And boy, did he not disappoint. Darius Slayton has the makeup to be a true number 1 receiver. Here's why I like Darius Slayton. Besides the fact he was already a wide receiver 3 last year as a rookie in points per game. 48 receptions, 740 yards. So he's a big play guy. 8 touchdowns, guys. The leader had 11, I believe, only. Kenny Golladay, he had 3 less than the leader as a rookie. Oh, and he was out for a couple of games. Okay? And the Giants had no offensive line. Daniel Jones is special. This is not a Daniel Jones special or edition or quarterback edition. But here is why I like Darius Slayton. Daniel Jones reminds me of a more athletic Peyton Manning. Very cerebral quarterback. Lots of turnovers. But this guy is such a pinpoint passer. He is not going to miss many opportunities. When you have Darius Slayton, who's 6 foot, runs a 4.3, whatever, has a big, I think he has almost like a 40-inch vertical leap, and you give him a pinpoint passer like Daniel Jones, not to mention, let's be honest, guys, if anybody thinks that Sterling Shepard or Evan Ingram is not getting hurt this year, I'm going to hit you over the head and hurt you. it's going to be the Darius Slayton show, guys. Well, and Barkley. But, guys, a true number one wide receiver. Jason Garrett's the coordinator. They love to throw. Giants defense is not that good. He's a big play guy. As a rookie, he had a couple of games, either 2 or 3 games where he had multiple touchdowns as a rookie. The chemistry is there. He's had the most time with Daniel Johnson. I could go on and on. If you can't tell, guys, I love me some Darius Slayton. Have him. Oh, yeah. The other day I said there's only 2 players I have on every single team, which was Jonathan Taylor and Antonio Gibson. Love those guys. Darius Slayton's the third. I have him in my dynasty. I have him in the throne. I have him in my expert league. Why? Because I love the guy. Obviously. Darius Slayton, guys. Last time I'm going to mention it. He goes in the 9th round all day. I guarantee you. He was a wide receiver 3 in points per game as a rookie. I guarantee you he will be a wide receiver 2 this year. Easy. I'm taking him all day over T.Y. Hilton. And who are these other bums that are going ahead of him? I don't even know right now. I can't think. But, all right, enough about Darius Slayton. So, quick recap. My top underrated receivers. DJ Chark, Scary Terry, Tyler Boyd, Michael Gallup, Deontay Johnson, Darius Slayton, guys. As always, if you have any questions, comment. If you want to show me some love, comment. Definitely subscribe. Give me a like before you leave. Appreciate you guys tuning in with me. I'm going to try to make these videos, hopefully once a day. But I am going away this weekend, so it might be a little bit, a couple days before I make another video. But thanks for tuning in at fantasyfootballrapper, all social media except for Twitter at IMFFrapper. Until next time, peace. We out of here.